offhand talking about. Oh, hold on, we're live.
Uh,
Okay, yes, we're live. What do I do
freedom
now, Daphne?
freedom of speech is now $8 a month. It seems.
That is freedom of speech is not $8 a month, Daphne. Freedom of speech on someone else, in what you are allowed to say in someone else's house, is $8 a month.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. No. Of course. Of
Like
course. But
this
the
is
whole thing
such
is just
bullshit.
funny. It's like he
Yeah.
gets into a fight. It was originally $10. He gets into a fight with Stephen King, and then now it's $8.
We oh my god.
Only on the internet, my friends. Only on
Oh
the
my
internet. What are we
god.
doing? Oh yeah, we're live, aren't we?
Yes, we're trying to go live. You want to? What else? Did we say
What
good
day?
morning?
What day? I think we did.
Oh,
Good morning.
good morning.
Right,
It
there we
is
go.
November 4th, 2022, and it's a
Ew.
Friday. Friday, because Monday we're
Yeah.
launching.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's our intro. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
If I couldn't find hope, I should just let it all go. I used to think if I couldn't make dreams come true, I should just let them all go. When life seems impossible, look from a new angle, change just one little thing. When life feels intolerable, find your true source of love. Focus now, focus on love.
It's Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch the Craze.
You are watching Catch the Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch the Craze.
Where are all the indies at?
A Catch the Craze podcast.
What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch the Craze.
What are you going to do?
Subscribe now to Catch the Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
You are an independent. Catch the craze. Making moves on your own. Catch the craze. On your grind in the streets. Catch the craze. Join the movement. Catch the craze.
Dow.
Good morning, Nita.
Good morning. No one.
No one. Is everyone? Yeah, it's like everybody is. It's Friday. We're all sluggish. It's dark out. Well, it's not dark out now. But it's like nobody wants to wake up early, and so it's going to take a little bit for everybody to join us. Oh, but that's okay. That's okay. It's like they'll all catch us on the replay anyway. So
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. And good morning to the two people who are just barely next to the eyeball on my screen, just barely watching, because we're all kind of like that today. I don't know. Thank you so much
I
for
made a
joining
mistake
us.
and went back to bed.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's like today, I don't know. It just gets, you know what it is? It's like as it gets, like now it's like dark I mean, are we still doing like daylight saving time thing? I mean, it's like, are they still like going to switch that over, or are we kind of like done with that?
No, we're still doing it. There are some states that are trying
Right.
to get out of it. Louisiana's one of them.
Oh,
I hope we're
okay.
successful, because that's such bullshit.
It really is. It really is. I know Arizona's never done it. They were just going, nah, that's nonsense.
But they have isn't Arizona the state that, or is it Nevada? Somewhere has like 3 time zones, because they recognize one of the native nations and
Oh, yeah.
2 separate time zones across the state. But it's like there's this one area where you could like run around a block and run through 3 time zones.
Oh, gross. Yeah, no, I think there was a West Wing clip that I think refers to something like that, but everyone was freaking out because they didn't know what time it was.
It's the Navajo Nation time
Right.
zone that
Oh,
they recognize.
okay.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Right. So, well, okay. So we're gonna try. We're gonna try anyway. So, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Who's in the chat? Is it just
Just Mr. Mike Walters. Hello,
Oh,
Mike.
hello,
Good morning.
hello, welcome. The brunch is being served. Oh my goodness, yeah. So hello everybody. So I guess might as well just get this started officially.
Yes,
My name
do
is
it.
Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing since 1992, and I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, returning to Kickstarter early next year, and my medieval fantasy soap opera drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, launching Monday, November 7th. And I couldn't be more nervous about it, as always, because I'm just like that. You can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and eagleworks.com, EGOWRKS. And you can check out all of my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lager, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure you hit all the buttons, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live on either of our channels. And to tell you more about it, here is Nita.
Good morning. I am a writer, vlogger, blogger from Southeast Louisiana whose name just happens to be Nita Lanning. And I am the executive producer of the Indie Comics Network on YouTube and run Indie Comics Network promotions on Facebook.
Yes, and you can now find us at indiecomicsnetwork.com.
So fancy. So fancy.
It's .com.
And I'm so tired.
No, for real.
dead.
I mean, it's like, yeah. I mean, it's like I spent, like, who else? Let's see. Oh, Eric is here too. Hello, Eric
Good
Hawkins.
morning.
Hello, good morning. Oh, where's my stuff here? Okay, yeah. It's like, what is it? Any like housekeeping we should do before we get started mumbling about stuff? I don't know.
So like if you want to head over to Kickstarter, check out Chad Perkins, The Legend of Sparkle Dog. Don't say ah woo. That's still on there. It's a furry Lovecraftian horror / whatever. It's
All right.
It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's everything. Also, JD Calderon has his sign up page for the Oswald Chronicles Volume 2. And that's over there.
Yeah, all the links are in the show notes below, so you can
There's
go
a
check
link
everything.
tree that'll take you to everybody's everything.
Yeah,
down there.
exactly. Yeah.
There was what else? Something. Oh yeah, this is
Oh
happening.
yes, and like I said, it's like it's happening Monday. It's like I still have to do the Kickstarter. I have to make an effort to make the Kickstarter. You see, that's why I can't level up on my videos, because I always save it for the last minute, so I can't really put any like real loving time into it like everybody else seems to be able to. So I end up a very utilitarian.
Videos come out just fine.
You know, they're very utilitarian, but you know what? It is Kickstarter, so yes, I have to make sure I do my video today so I can get that up, because I need to do the video and I need to do the 30-second bump for us as well. So yeah, usually that requires me to record the audio twice. Because if I do a full video, I usually can't just edit it down. I have to kind of redo it for the 30-second to get the pacing correct. So, oh my goodness. But yeah, it's like, so actually, you know, let's start off with a couple of things. Let's start off with a mail call. How about a mail call?
Oh, you got a mail call? All right.
I got a mail call. So actually, I got this last week, but I just wanted to show it off. So I finally got my Kickstarter books from Nina for Sunrise Blossom. So I got all the 3 issues. I guess like the first trade, and then like I guess like issues 2 and 3 of the rest of the story. So this one is black and white, and then the rest of the series is in color. So that's I'm looking forward to actually. These are the books that, or at least the original. This trade was one of the books I lost in my flooding incident in my office. I had a box that I was putting all my Kickstarters in until I can get to them and put them away. And when I went to move the box, I was like, ew, what's that smell? And it turned out that this particular corner kept flooding every time it rained, and the box would absorb everything. So that's why it took me so long to know, to find out. So so I'm just very happy to finally replace the books that I lost in that box, along with some updated books. So thank you, Nina, for Sunrise Blossom. What's funny is that she's now working on a new book called she's what's it called? The Lusty Dragon Mistress. And it's like, and it's like, I just had, it was just so funny that it's like, it's like titles like that is what's going on. It's all the rage now. It's like, you know what? Just be very straightforward in your title.
We're coming for that book totally.
Yeah, we're definitely. So so Sunrise Blossom by Nina. You can find Sunrise Blossom online on Webtoons, and also I think if you can go to if you go to her Kickstarter page, she has a link there so that you can still pick up the books as well without buying through waiting for another Kickstarter. So
right.
So I'm very happy with that. And yes, and good luck with the Lusty Dragon Mistress. Yes, we will be we will be putting out the dollars for that one. Because Monster Girls Unite. So another book that I picked up that I think that I also got through Kickstarter that I think a lot of people in the audience will find this one really interesting as well. This is from a series called Masters of Anatomy, and this is specifically a collection of weapons poses. And it's literally just that. You cannot get any simpler with this book than in terms of reference. I mean, when I saw it, I thought it was just absolutely brilliant. Like I said, in its simplicity. I mean, this is what I'm literally like Googling constantly. It's like, and here they decided to put it all in one very convenient book. So this is Masters of Anatomy. 1,500 rough and final images for you to study, and you can switch them out any way you want. Like I said, look, just the second I saw it, I knew I needed this book. So this book is still available through Kickstarter. The Kickstarter's over, but you can still get it through them. So just head on over, just find Weapons Poses by Masters of Anatomy on Kickstarter, and you'll be able to get your own copy. They do have other books like with faces and female poses and all that. I know eventually I'll probably end up collecting all of the books. Like I said, this is just way too handy for me. So check that out too. So I'm very happy with this book coming out of Kickstarter as well. So I'm very pleased with my purchases lately. So very nice, very nice. So speaking of Kickstarter, so Monday. You're muted.
Monday.
I can't help but be nervous about it. Although I have to say though, if you are waiting for your rewards from the Oswald Chronicles, It Broke Free and Couldn't Read 3 and 4, almost all of the packages, all of the domestic packages went out yesterday. I have to admit, it was the most satisfying pack out I have ever done, because it was one of the rare times. So JD had packed up everything in advance, but usually going to the post office takes me a couple of cycles, and the thing is, it's like, yes, I could call the post office to pick everything up, but this is probably right now the only exercise that I get right now. So, and I need the fresh air, so it's important to go outside. But yesterday, because JD was home from work, he had off yesterday, so we were able to take everything to the post office in one fell swoop. So I'm very happy with that. I just have to do the internationals, and then that campaign is cleared out. So yeah, so all that. So everyone who's waiting for rewards, you will be getting them next week. Definitely, you'll start to be getting them. Either this weekend, depending on how your post office delivers, or next week. So keep an eye out for that. And it's like, yeah, and it's just like also satisfying that I was able to get like everything out of the house pretty much before the next campaign starts.
Here it comes.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, I am nervous about this campaign. I always am. I mean, every campaign is a learning experience, no matter how many of these I've done. And honestly, between me and JD, I think we must be at like 30 something campaigns over
Morning,
the years.
John.
Good morning. And it just never it just never gets easier. Let's just say that. It's always, always a learning curve, always something new. I mean, it's just really funny to think that I think what really threw me off is the trade paperback for Eagle Raven doing as well as it did. It's like, which is kind of ironic that what's throwing me off was the success of one of my books.
Whoa, can't have that.
Yeah, I know, really. It's like, I think that if it had done exactly the way I thought it would, that I was anticipating, that it would be modest, like a $3,000 campaign or something, I wouldn't be as freaked out. But now it's like, oh shit, the pressure's on. The potentiality, and it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird to kind of like think that, holy crap, I had a book that almost broke 5 figures. And it was just like, I mean, honestly, if I had that campaign run for like 3 more days, I would have done it.
I think so.
And it was just, I don't know. And that thought freaks me out a bit. So now we're back. Hey, Patrick. And so now we're back to an individual issue. Now, here's the thing, though. It's like, yeah, exactly. but it never goes away, Eric. I just have to tell you, it never goes away. So, so I have issue 5 launching on Monday. And, and I'm just throwing some stuff out there just to see. It's like, okay, how far can I take this campaign? Should I even be thinking this way? Should I even be thinking this way? Because it's an individual issue, and it's like, do I really need? Oh no,
Bye, Patrick.
Yeah, no, I think I'll pass on that. And it's just like, I don't know. It's like, I just really need to not think about it, I think, for this campaign. I just really need to think about it. However, I would like to show off some stuff. If you watched me on my live stream on Wednesday, you would have seen these already. But I
For
figure,
those of you that didn't, here we go.
yeah, and here we go. So, so on Monday, the reason why you want to join us for a live stream on for our launch party on Monday is that I will be doing a raffle, 4 raffles, in fact, on Monday. So we're going to be launching the campaign. And what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be raffling off to everybody who pledges to a physical level during that hour we are on. Now, I'm going to try to launch the campaign as early as possible in the in that hour so that we can get everybody situated and whatnot. And then by around near the end of the show, we are going to do these raffles. So the first thing I'm going to show off here is this is the Jaden Lanning variant cover for issue 5. You know, and here's the thing though. This, I don't know if you can tell. Let me take that out of the thing here. This is a hollow version of the cover. Now here's the thing. These hollow covers are not going to be available on the campaign. So on the campaign, you're only going to be able to get the regular version and a virgin cover, but any of the special metallic covers will not be available. So the only way to get to even think of getting a hollow cover of these campaign exclusive covers is to join us on Monday and pledge to a physical level during that hour. And here's the catch too. I didn't think I had to mention this, but I do. You know, it's like if you pledge to a physical level and you win one of these covers, but then decide to back out of the campaign, like say you want to downgrade to a PDF or something, you forfeit. You will forfeit your prize, okay? I mean, it's like
the fact that you have to say that.
Yeah, the fact that I have to say that. I was seeing some shenanigans on some other campaigns, and it's like I just figured I'd bring that up. So this is the first out of 4 that I'm going to be offering. So like I said, this is the hollow one. So the second raffle that we're going to do is again for the exclusive variant hollow edition. Again, not available on the campaign. So then we're going to have a second person who's going to win a hollow version of the Jack Kirby homage cover for Eagle Raven issue 5. So that's going to be, raffled off as well, again for anybody who pledges to a physical level during the hour we are on. Now these last 2, I'm pretty sure that these are the ones that people are really going to want to fight for. So of course we're going to raffle off a hollow edition of the Disaster Sun Facebook variant. So it's like, I swear, it's like you really can't get a sense of the hollow foil on this. It's just like you have to see it in person, So one copy of the hollow foil of the Disaster Sun variant.
The werewolf in tight.
Yeah, exactly. So this is also, we're going to raffle this off. And then last but not least, to the lucky 4th winner of the campaign. This one I definitely cannot take out of the bag right now. We're going to also offer up a hollow version of the Lilac Wood exclusive variant that will drop randomly on the actual campaign itself. It's not, so if you're interested in getting the regular version or the virgin version of this, again, keep an eye on the campaign. But the hollow version, this raffle is going to be the only way you're going to get a hollow cover version of this cover. So that's why you should join us on Monday at 11 a.m. for the launch party, and then pledge during that hour so you can get one of these 4 covers. Now here's the thing too, strategy wise, the first day, the first day, it'll be easier technically if you want to win one of these, because you're going to be competing with maybe about 40 people on the wheel, as opposed to on the last day when we do our last raffles, where you're going to be competing with maybe 140 people.
Yes.
on that wheel.
Think
So
bigger. Maybe 200 this time.
well, maybe,
Or 4.
maybe.
We don't
Who knows?
know.
We don't know. We don't
We
know.
don't know.
So,
We don't know.
yes. So if you're interested in winning one of these holo covers, join us on Monday for the Eagle Raven 5 launch party for that. So, yeah. So I hope that that entices people. So, I don't know. It's one of these things. Oh, and also, and anything else going on your end, Nita?
If you are watching us from Facebook or Twitter, just simply come over to indiecomicsnetwork.com. It directs you straight to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Because we have problems seeing you guys in your comments. So, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
There.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's like the best way for you to join us in the chat is through YouTube. That seems to be the most efficient way to do it. I mean, Facebook is pretty good too. And Twitter, you can't really do that. Actually, I don't think you can comment through Twitter at all.
No.
So, but the thing is, though, if you really want us, but with Facebook, we always have a problem with it making you anonymous. And it's like, no, we want to know who's talking to us. We want to know. We want you to
engage with us.
Yes, exactly. It's like, it's better to come over to YouTube and to join us. Join the sexy people in the chat. Exactly. Also, speaking of Regions Beyond, we might be adding another Regions Beyond to our little repertoire here. So yesterday especially, I was putting together, finally, my Twitch page. Yes, I have a Twitch page now. I haven't streamed to it yet. But I've been playing around for the past week with OBS and actually, if you joined me on Wednesday, I was testing OBS, some OBS stuff on my drawing live stream, which seemed to work out pretty well in spite of some tweaks.
Fancy and nice.
Yeah, in spite of some tweaks that I had to make. Like, I think I figured out how to pipe music in through OBS itself. Without having to have to play it on my speaker and get the microphone to pick it up. No. That's cheesy. I think I did it the right way this time. I was able to figure that out. So the idea is so next Wednesday on my drawing live stream, I will be experimenting with streaming to Twitch. So if for some reason you prefer to watch me on Twitch instead of YouTube, I will be on Twitch. I have my link. I think my link tree. Nita is. Because Twitch is kind of strange. They seem to be very
elementary rules. There's
a lot of rules to follow. And
we have a Twitch now too, because I made one to go stalk yours.
Right.
And
okay.
That's how I found the chickens. But that's another story.
Yes, exactly.
We don't have time for that.
Right.
Anyway, after I was watching the chickens, I played around and I started building ours. But it's like when I got into the code of conduct for Twitch, they will come look for your shit, or people who can report you off-site. So I think me being on Twitch might be an issue because I have trolls that like to follow me and report my shit all the time anyway.
Yeah.
And while it's not in violation of YouTube because of the way I stream what I do, and on Facebook they ban me here and there at random. I'm afraid that it would cause I'm afraid I would be removed from Twitch. So it's like I don't want to really waste my time and invest that much time over there.
Right. Yeah.
And if I do utilize it, there will be a few shows that will not stream over there at all.
Yeah. Yeah. We still have to experiment. You know what it is? We kind of have to look.
We have to learn to say unalive.
I know. It's like we have to look at Twitch the same way when we began doing House of Bob on YouTube. We kind of have to follow the rules to a T and then kind of see where we can relax a bit, and kind of get used to it. So, like I said, on Wednesday, I will be streaming to Twitch and experimenting with that. So, we'll see. It's just, it's like in the end, it's just one more place for me to try to stream to,
Right.
to kind of like grow an audience, that whole thing. So yes, that links in the show notes. It is on my link tree. The Twitch, you just go all the way down to the Twitch icon, and that's my channel right there. So, yeah, let's experiment together.
Absolutely no House of Bob.
No
Twitch.
House of Bob on Twitch.
In fact, that'll be the
they're-
offsite they come at us for, probably.
Yeah, well, hopefully not, because the thing is, though,
we
is
do age restricted.
Yeah, it's age restricted. It's not like you could just visit the website and like visit a website and just find everything. It's like it's age restricted. And
the House of Bob, Shots with Comics is out. The Vlogs is out at this point.
Yeah.
But Daphne,
what?
Oh my God,
what happened?
I just feel an affiliate link coming.
No, it's like absolutely not. You my best girl. I can't leave my best girl. No. It's like, if it's one thing that it's like, look, affiliate link is just going to like lock me in, and it's like, why would I want to do that? That defeats the
I don't
purpose
understand
of
why anybody wants to do that. You can't go anywhere else once you do.
Yeah, so it's like it defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do here, which kind of brings me also to something that happened on Twitter.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so there was this question that popped up that I answered, and it is on my Twitter feed. If anybody wants to take a look at it, because I'm not going to blow anybody up here. I'm just going to talk about the question that was posited that I answered. So the person had asked, "Is it on the?" Okay, this is their comment. It's on the creator if their comics aren't selling. True or false?
True. False.
Okay.
True, false. Okay, there's circumstances. There's factors here.
Right. So the answer that I gave is that, well, for my answer, the answer is true. It's on the creator if their comics aren't selling. And I said that ultimately you only have control over what you do or you don't do, but you can still do everything right and not have an audience paying attention to your effort. It is up to you to decide whether the work is still worth it. So that was my answer. But the thing that kind of stood out for me more on this question is that they answered a little defensively, which didn't surprise me for this, because they're just certain things. So they said that if you're doing everything right, you'd find an audience. And I go,
not necessarily true.
You're that person. Okay, you're that person. All right, that's fine. It's like, so what I mean by that, it's like I said, I have been running in independent circles since 1992. The road is littered with bodies, of like so many independent comics that never made it. Of so many people who gave up on it. It's like it's like the road is littered with bodies. And the way this person was a little defensive about my answer is like, oh, if you do everything right, you'll get an audience. Now here's the thing. It's a trick. It's a trick answer, I think.
Right. That's what I'm saying. True, false.
Yeah,
fruit.
Exactly. Because
Fruit.
Here's the thing. It's the fruit. It's a fruit. It's a fruit. Because here's the thing. One, what is doing everything right? Okay? It's like, one, you have to have an answer for that. What is everything? Are you really doing everything?
And that varies from campaign to campaign as well.
It's like, what is everything?
Right.
It's like, what's everything? So you have to have an answer for that to even like begin to explain your answer if you do everything right. And then it's like, you'll find your audience. If you do everything right, you'll find your audience. And it's like, well, I have met enough people on this long, arduous road, even to this day. And I bet you if I were to ask this person more detail about their answer, that even they would kind of be like, well, here's the thing. Are you talking about an audience of 1? Are you talking about an audience of 10? It's still an audience. Does that mean you're doing everything right? Are you talking about an audience of 140 people, which is how many backers I kind of had? 144 people, which is the backers I had on my last campaign. What if that was it? You know, what if no matter what you did, your campaigns, you never sold beyond that 144 people? Is that an audience that you're still going to do work for? Or is that an audience you're going to dismiss as that's not an audience? That's not big enough.
Well, if you dismiss them as not an audience, you're just going to be another body in the road.
Right, exactly. You know, because in the end, it's like I said, the last thing, you know, the last, and here's a funny thing too. Somebody also answered that as well. Does everyone know what the right way is besides me? I'm pretty sure he doesn't know. Like, I feel like it's a crapshoot most of the time building an audience. If there is a proven pathway to success, let me know. And I think he's only, you know, like kind of proving my comment that it's like, okay, what's everything? You know, and I've spoken about people who think that they can business their way into a successful indie comics career. You know, without really thinking about like what they're offering, how they're offering it. You know, I mean, you know, and here's the thing too. Like I said, if you woke up tomorrow and realize, you look at all your Kickstarters, and you realize, and it's like, you know what? I'm only going to get 144 backers no matter what I do. Would you still do your book? Would you still finish your book? Would you still continue doing Kickstarters? You know? And I think that, you know, they talk about, oh, if you do everything right, you'll find an audience. Well, I guess it depends on, one, what your definition of everything is, and also what your definition of success is.
Right.
Because it's like, I mean, 144 backers, it's like, look, I can't remember the last time I went to a convention and met 144 people that all bought my book, okay?
Right.
You know, so the fact that I'm doing that on Kickstarter, it's like, yo, you know, it's like, now, of course, my next question is, how do I grow that? Right?
Right.
But the thing is, though, is that there's no guarantee that I can, right? It's like, there's an author that I follow, Ryan Holiday, that he does Daily Stoic. Again, going back to ancient philosophers about this. And he talks about his latest book, about how he worked really hard, went through all these editors, went through all these edits, did the best book that he could possibly do. You know? And it does, and here's the thing. He says, the only thing I have a right to is my effort. Right. I do not have a right to how the audience reacts to it. I don't have a right to anything outside of my effort. How the book does is beyond my control. So I can only do the best I can to promote it. But even then, anything beyond that is out of my control. Now, granted, he went on to be a best-selling New York Times author, but the thing is, though, is like that's how he kept himself from going crazy.
That wasn't in his control either, though.
Right, that wasn't in his control, you know? So, could you say that, well, but he did everything right? Did he? You know? I mean, it's like, if his goal was to be a New York Times best-selling author, okay, then he succeeded at that. But the thing is, though, I bet you he couldn't tell you what direct path led to that. You know? It's like, what direct path led to him making a book that everybody wanted to buy, that put him on that list? You know? He could just say that it's like, this was my effort, and this is what happened afterwards.
Right.
You know, so it's the same thing whenever we do our comics. You know, it's like all I have a right to is telling my story as best as I can and promoting it as best as I can. But anything beyond that is out of my control. You know, it's like, am I going to get more than 144 people on this next campaign? You know, it's like, you know, it's like I can say I'm nervous about it, but in the end, what am I really nervous about? You know, it's like I'm in kind of like a unique situation where nothing is really hinging on this. You know, I mean, except maybe my own ego on this. You know, it's like I just had a campaign make 84. And now it's like, yeah, but what if you can make 85? Can you make 85 on this or whatever? And
Fuck
it's like,
it. No, we're going for 11.
Right,
No.
exactly, right? But the thing is, though, what happens if, say, I only make 3? I mean, people, a lot of crowdfunders, a lot of people running crowdfunders are saying that they see a slowdown, right?
Then you get mad and you have some really angry sex and you get over it. And move on and write some more.
Well, you know what? But okay, that's a way to you know, to kind of move on. You know, all right? You know, it's like nothing wrong with that. But you know, but the thing is, though, it's like, you know, like it's not like I have people to pay. The only people I'm paying is my flatter, and the only people I paid is Jaden for her cover. You know, it's like, so it's not like I'm in the hole for anything.
Right.
You know, I mean, because these were expenses that were happening regardless. Right? It's not like, oh, I have to make X amount of money to be able to afford to print this book. That's neither here nor there either. You know, even all my variant covers, that's all me. I did that. You know, it's like I decided if I needed a variant cover, within a couple of hours, I had a new variant cover. You know, I think I might have gotten a little carried away on this campaign, but, you know, maybe we'll save a couple.
We'll just put them aside for later.
Yeah, we'll put them aside for later. But the whole thing is that it's not like, you know, I have 10 variant covers that I spent $250 to $400 each on that I have to make back that money. I don't need to do that either. So, okay, if my campaign makes the same as, say, issue 1 of Ego Raven, which made, I think it barely made 2,000 or something, or it just hit 2,000 or something. I don't remember without looking it up. You know, does it matter? You know, it's like I'm still telling the story. I'm still working on issue 7. I still have issue 8, you know, sketched out, laid out. You know, I have the script for all 15 issues done. You know, I have a novel. You know, it's like, does it matter? I mean, for me, it doesn't, you know, although, you know, for you, the royal you know, your situation might be different. You know, it's like you probably are looking at, it's like, oh my God, how do I, you know, enlarge my audience so that I make more money so I can afford to do this more and this, that, and the other thing and hire more artists, or I'm paying for all these artists and I'm paying so much out of pocket, you know, but it's like, but in the end though, you still have no control over what happens after your effort. Beyond your effort in both putting together a book, you know, and promoting it, you have no control over that. So there is no straight line to anything. It's just like, okay, I know, well, this kind of works and that kind of works, and if I do this, this kind of works. But here's the thing, though. I think that what I thought was kind of obnoxious about the guy's answer to my tweet, other than kind of missing the point of it, which is like, no matter what happens, is your work still worth doing? Right? That's always my point. You know, because if you just need to make money, I've always said there's easier ways to make money. You know, you don't need to be in comics to make money. So, you know, it's nice, you know, but the thing is, though, if money is your issue, if all you're focused on is making money at this, there are easier ways to do it. And for me, my whole thing is what you're doing worth it? worth the effort regardless of what the outside forces are saying. It's like, are you only going to have 100 people buy your stuff? Does it matter? It's like, and that's something that's important to me. It's like, I could only have 100. Yeah, OnlyFans. Yes, exactly. They're easy. Like I said, they're right. It's like they're easier ways.
He's so supportive.
I know. So, so the thing is though, so the like I said, the reason why I thought his answer was a little obnoxious sounding. I mean, it is Twitter. You get no sense of context in people's typing. Hello. Is that he sounded like I said, he sounded very defensive, or I read it as if he was being defensive about it. Like, no, don't tell me that I can't do all the right things, that I can't, that all I have to do is just business harder and I will be a success at this. And that's kind of, it's kind of like, how you read those articles about how diets don't work. And then you have like the hardcore people who are always on diets going, don't destroy my hope. And it's like, I'm not destroying anything. This is actual research that diets don't work, So in this case, I kind of got the feeling that says, don't ruin my hope. If I just business harder, I will be a success at this. When all I'm asking is that, all I'm saying is that you have no right to anything outside of your effort. And 2, is your stuff worth doing anyway?
Ouch.
Oh. Ooh. Did you pull something?
Wow. I felt that burn.
Oh. Because, I mean, that's, that's kind of like how I feel about it. It's like, is your stuff worth doing anyway? If all your business acumen cannot get your book to any level whatsoever, is that what's the most important thing about your book? Does your work become meaningless because of that? You can't get into comic book stores. Comic book retailers could give a shit about your book. Okay? You're never going to get into comic book stores. Does it matter? It's like, if you can't get your books into Walmart, does it matter? Is your story worth telling anyway? It's like, and it's like, and it just really depends. Like, I think that there are people, I don't remember if we spoke about this on the air or not, but the whole thing is like, is there advice that people ask for advice when they really want is validation?
Right. And that's so hard to do sometimes. Right. Like, please don't. I'm not the one for that.
Right. And it's like, I think it was on JD's show, on a Sunday show, where I asked, okay, it's like, so people ask for advice when they really want validation. So here's the thing. What's the advice that indie people need to hear that they don't want to hear? And I really do think that, when, that one of those things as your effort may be for nothing, but is your story worth telling anyway? What about you, Nita? It's like, it's like, if there was advice that you feel, what's the one piece of advice that you think that indie creators need to hear that maybe they don't want to hear?
To not become whiny little bitches when their Kickstarters aren't going their way.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah.
That and maybe your art's not as good as you think it is.
But I mean, but that's, but that kind of goes, but the thing is though, that goes into another thing too, because it's like, do you really think that people don't know?
I think some of them don't. I think that's there's egos there where some of them, some of them I think they know. I think they know that, this isn't the quality it could be, and maybe they can't afford the artist or whatever. but they've got a story to tell and they want to put it out anyway. And then
Right.
you've got those who could afford an artist and they continually put out lower quality stuff and expect people to just flock to it. And it's like, that's not how that works.
You know, because
and I'm canceled, and that's great.
Oh well. You're still here, Nita. You're not canceled. It's like no one supported the pilot. You can't cancel. they can't cancel you. But I mean, it's like a whole bunch of things, because it's like, we were talking. Me and JD were talking about this yesterday about. I guess this is kind of like a separate tangent, where it's like. He was on a show where somebody was just chomping at the bit to talk shit about another creator. And I guess nobody took the bait, but it was just like, there was this thing where it's like, it's like, because the book really, I didn't, like the book and this, that, and the other thing or whatnot. And not liking a book is fine. Not everybody has the same taste. You buy something, you think it's going to go one way, it goes another, and it's like, this is not what I was really into, or whatnot. But here's the thing, though. It's like, and there are people who come into indie comics because the bar is so low. I mean, it's like, really, it's like there's no gatekeepers in indie comics. If you can pay a POD, you can have an indie comic made. It's that simple, you know. I mean, really, it's and it's
but
like,
there are a lot of cock blockers. Don't deny that. There really are. There are those assholes that will form their little cliques and groups.
But that's always
select individuals and fucking shadow others, and it does happen.
I mean, it's like, but that's you have to maneuver something like that no matter where you are. If but here's the thing, though. It's like, now I know that as an actual promoter, right? It's like, it's, it's like, and the thing is, though, too, is that I always make the joke that there are some styles that look like they're an aesthetic. It's like that there's a fine line between aesthetic and did you just have a stroke
and crap.
and did you just have a stroke? It's like, but here's the thing, though. Now, as a promoter, I can understand why you would tell somebody, I'm not going to take your money to promote this. I can understand that. Because it's like, there are standards,
and really there are people who hate me for that,
right? And it's like, look, just because you have the money to pay somebody to promote doesn't mean it's in their best interest to promote you,
right?
But the thing is, though, again, it's like, that's something we kind of have to self-reflect on, if that's the case. It's like, look, I'm banned from Diamond, all right, so but that doesn't mean I'm changing Tall Tales for anything,
right?
So so I understand this. I'm never going to see Tall Tales in a comic book store without Diamond. So, or at least not anymore. But here's the thing, though. Outside of that, outside of your job being dependent, what real difference does it make? It's like, okay, you didn't like, you think this person's artwork is crude, or you think this, this person's artwork, this comic, is not working.
Usually, most of the time, luckily, it's not the artwork that I make that decision on. It's the story.
Right.
Seriously, it's like, okay, this doesn't even make, I don't want to read this crap.
Right.
This doesn't make sense. They're not open to suggestion. There's also one of the biggest factors is the asshole factor. Like if you've been an asshole online and talk shit about other creators, and you just decide you want to come to me with a project, I'm not taking your money. I'm not doing it.
Right.
But sometimes it does boil down to the book itself. And and first it would be the way it's written.
Right.
Especially if there are a couple issues in.
Right.
And I've read full issues. But also, yeah, there's a couple instances where there's art, and why does it make a difference? Because for one, like when I'm whether, even though it's a paid promotion, I'm still putting my name and time and energy into something. And why subject myself to having failure on record if I can, you know? I mean,
but it's like when you're looking at from a business point of view, it's like there's a logic there that I can understand. Somebody on their own show chomping at the bit just to be able to talk shit about somebody's comic, that's the thing that I don't quite understand.
Right.
It's like I don't understand, like, okay, you don't yeah, exactly, don't be a dick. I mean, it's that simple, right? And that's the thing too, because it's like, I've seen this a lot of times where people they just want to be a dick online, and they want to talk shit about, oh, this person's book is amateur and this, that, and the other thing. And then it's like, honey, but you do understand when you open that door, you become a target too.
Right.
That it's like, that if you want to, do whatever you want on your show. But the thing is, though, if you just want to turn around and be a dick to another artist because it's like, oh, they draw like a third grader, what are they doing comics and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, well, obviously you're such an authority. Let's look at your work. Since you're such an authority, let's look at your work. And I find that chain reaction so unnecessary. Like, in the end, it's like, you have a book out. Great. Here's a group where you can promote to. It's like, feel free. It's like, go do you, little bird, type of thing. I mean, there's no reason, I mean, unless it's like your job, but then that kind of goes into a phrase that I heard. This is related to fine art, that art doesn't exist until a critic does.
Right. Oh, and then another reason why I do have to become somewhat of a critic when it comes to what I accept and what I don't is these people think that I work magic. I'm not fucking magic. I'm not coming and sprinkling fairy dust over your shit and making it 1,000 times fucking better. And so you may not fund, and then what happens? I spend all this time with promotion, and I'm having to hunt and fight and file small claims to get what I'm owed. No, fuck that. I don't have time for it.
Right. Well, that's the thing too. And I think that goes back to the whole, you can't business your way out. You can't business your way to a successful comic if your own comic doesn't fit certain parameters.
Right.
And oh, well, yeah, exactly. It's kill them with kindness, even though it takes a little too long, but kill them with kindness. I don't know. It's just, like I said, I have all these like kind of meandering thoughts that just came from that whole that whole Twitter thing. I mean, I think it just boiled down to that. Obviously, this is somebody who thinks that they can business their way to success in a creative field. And it's like, look, you need some sort of business acumen in order to survive doing this. But if you don't have the creative work to back it up, the business side is kind of meaningless. I think that's kind of what, I guess that's kind of the point that I'm trying to get here. That it's like, you can't be heavy on either one or the other. It's like, yeah, I would love to be able to just draw my stuff all day and not have to worry about going online and figuring out how to put a Twitch page together, which, holy crap, you would think laying out a Twitch page would be
intuitive. I still can't figure out how to make that bottom panel a different color.
Yeah, it's like I had to watch like 4 different videos just to get what I got. It's like, really? It's like the interface is not intuitive. Maybe if I was 13, I could figure it out, but no, not. I at right now. So you know, and it's like, but I have to do that. You know, it's like I have to look at, okay, what are the trends? I have to study trends. I have to study, you know, like the demographics and look at the algorithms. And it's like, you know, oh, what's selling, what's not selling. It's like, how can I fit my book into this? It's not like I'm catering my comic to these things, but I'm studying them so I can see how I can fit what I have into those pathways. You know, it's like, because no matter what happens, Eagle Raven is going to exist. No matter what happens, Tall Tales is going to exist. The market may not be friendly to them, you know, but the thing is, though, is that that's not really my issue, because I'm not changing my books to fit the market. I'm trying to figure out where I can slide my books in the market somehow. I mean, and the thing is, though, would I rather not have to think about that? Yeah, I would, but that's not how it works.
Nope.
So I have my creative path set up, but now it's like marketing is just another hat that I have to put on to make sure that people who want to see my work see it. You know, that I know people want to see my work. I know I have 144 people who say that they want to continue seeing my work. But I'd like to find more if it's possible. Right. You know, so I have to look at marketing and at the marketing aspect of it and figure out, it's like, can I get this? You know, could I get Eagle Raven to 5 figures without always having to have expensive items all the time?
Fuck yeah, you can.
You know, it's like, because in the end, it's like, after looking at how Volume 1 did, that's kind of what put me over. It was an expensive campaign. It had, you know, it had certain expensive items on it. So yeah, I made more money on it. Can I repeat that with an individual issue somehow? You know, and it's like, and can I get to a point where I don't need to rely on certain gimmicks to push the next issue forward? You know, I mean, because that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, am I using certain gimmicks? You know, yeah. You know what? I had to fight a little bit, but now it's like, you know what? This isn't so bad. You know, it's like, you know, it's, you know, and the thing is, it's not that I had an aversion to nude or sexy covers. It's just that I felt that it was too early in the story to put them out. But once I started,
it's never
doing
too
them,
early for
it's
boobs.
It's never too early. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. It's like, I thought that it would be a little too spoilery, but it's not. It's like, so there you go. So, you know, so, but the thing is, though, is like, could I push forward without having to rely on gimmicks too much, you know? So it's like, yeah, it's like, but the thing is, though, it's like, am I doing the right thing? I have no idea. Am I doing everything right? I don't even know what everything is.
You are.
You know, but the thing is, that's all I can go by. It's like, okay, I know that I'm doing this, and this at the same time. Which one of those things made my numbers go up?
All of them. There's no secret sauce for each creator and actually each IP. There are so many different variables out there that the best tasting soup has different ingredients from everybody.
Right. Yeah.
You have to just find yours.
Yeah. You know, so that's what's been going through my head with that. Like I said, it's like, if this person on Twitter meant his comment differently, then I'm just going to blame that on the fact that maybe I projected onto it. It's just the nature of Twitter.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounded like.
You know, and whatnot. And it's like, but the thing is, though, is like, I think that no, there is no everything. There is no guarantee. All you have a right to is your effort. You know, and yeah, and we have to adjust accordingly.
Right.
You know, it's like, you're not entitled to an audience. You're not entitled to a five-figure campaign. You know, you're not entitled to anything, just whatever effort you put in, you know. And like I said, regardless of everything, is your story worth telling? Is your comic worth doing? Regardless, you know. And you know, and that's kind of like the thought that I always like to have, you know, jumbled, you know, rattling in there. So I hope you guys got something out of this. So we're just hitting past the top of the hour. Like I said, it's just been a kind of like a low key Friday, and I just have like a crap ton of stuff to do. I still have my Kickstarter video to do. I have to finish my pages so I can get them to the Flatters on Monday, which will like 8 pages away from finishing issue 7. So, but I have to get there first. Yes. Right now I'm still halfway. So it's just all the work that I have to put in, and that's all in my head right now. So, so any last thoughts, Nita?
IndyComicsNetwork.com, Linktree /Indie Comics Network. I'm just so proud of myself. Yes,
it's very
everywhere.
Easy.
Indie Comics Network. Indie Comics Network. What up? We just made
it's
it so simple
.com.
for you people.
So I'd like to thank everybody in the chat. Thank you, Hojo. Thanks, C. Thank Patrick. Everybody for Cameron.
John
Celestri, Nicholas.
Thank you.
Who did I? Yeah, and Eric and Mike. Thank you so much for keeping the chat moving. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank the 10 people watching us from regions beyond. So as we were saying, we're going to be adding Twitch somewhere in here somewhere. I don't know. It's like join me Wednesday, so we'll find out whether that works out or whether they ban us on the first day. So let's see. And if you are joining us from Facebook and from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe button. It's a lot easier for us to engage with each other on YouTube. So come on over here and press all the buttons. And on that note, for me, if you want to see more of me and my work and everything else going on, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWRKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress and all that stuff. And again, you can catch me on YouTube at my channel, Daphne Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics network for my semi-weekly...
IndieComicsNetwork.com.
Oh yes, IndieComicsNetwork.com, where you can see my semi-weekly live streams soon coming to Twitch. And also you can read the first 5 issues of Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, in its original black and white format. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the links over to Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com, and read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free. And don't forget to sign up for my monthly newsletter while you're there, so you can get free comic PDFs and regular monthly updates about all my current work and upcoming crowdfunding campaigns. I'm just getting more. I got another crowdfunder that's being approved right now. So yeah, there's always something coming down the pipe. So there you have. So make sure you stay notified with everything by signing up to the newsletter as well. So there we go. Just so we could say Indie Comics Network. Oh, it's the .com. Indie Comics Network. It's the .com. Yeah, there we go. That's the joke. That's the joke. For all of you, I have now aged myself. So, thank you again for joining us on this Friday, and so we'll see you again on Monday. What? Oh. It's the .com. So join us on Monday, where I will be launching Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, issue 5 on Kickstarter. And yes, join us. And remember, the people who pledge to physical levels during that hour of the show, you will be eligible to win one of these great holo foil variant covers that you will only be able to get in this raffle. So make sure you join us at 11 a.m. so that on Monday, so that you will be able to get one of those. So thank you again. And so that's it for me. That's it for Nita, who wants to say IndieComicsNetwork.com. We're going to have to put a banner.
No. In the words of
the ancients. Yes. It's the .com. No. In the words Secrets of the Ancients. Remember, the first rule of Fight Club is eat your food, moisturize. What was it? Eat your food, moisturize, mind your business. Mind your business and do the work, because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake your accomplishments. Now, I gotta go make that video before I forget. So, see you Monday, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comics Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10. Somebody has to voice over that shit again, because I cannot listen to myself every time I go live.
It's
oh
fine.
my
It's
God.
fine.
All right, we're out of here, boys.
Bye.
Bye.